Namaste everybody. Welcome to Aphinya Yoga and I am Aphinya. Today back to basics is downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. I am going to show you how to do the pose first and I will come down and give you details of the pose. Okay. Since I feel a little bit slippery on my mat, I should mention to you this first, that your mat is really crucial, definitely in a lot of poses. But for the downward facing dog, since you use your upper body muscles to push your trunk back. So if your hands are not solid and grip the floor, you will not get a chance to do that action. So please make sure that your mat is not oily, is not slippery. Clean it, scrub it. Look up online and see if there are any useful tips to clean your mat so you can do downward facing dog properly and safely, also effectively. Now, for the hands, I made a very detailed video about how to place the hands properly, and I will link it below. If you never get a chance to look at it before, I highly recommend you to go and study it. Okay? If you're at home, you can take your time and you can sit down and practice it, try it. I think you should really use this opportunity to take good care of yourself. I'm going to go through them, but it might be a little bit too quick in this video. So please, don't forget to do that. Hands, we align at the middle of the palms into the outsides of the shoulders. So what it feels like to you is that the hand is a little bit wider than the shoulders. And we want the wrist crease of the palms to parallel to the front edge of the mat. We want our fingers to spread. They don't have to overspread. They don't need to go underspread, but we want them to be even. And I want to say that we might be personal from one to the other, so please learn to feel your body. Whatever signal that you feel like is good, listen to it, honor it. Whatever signal you feel like is not safe, get yourself out from that. Try to adjust and see if it can help anything at all. If not, I highly suggest probably don't do it all together. Since you are by yourself, I don't want you to get hurt. Okay? 4 corners of our palms is on the ground. Okay. When our hands to the floor, the other thing that you should try to do is you turn your forearms in a bit and at the same time turn your upper arms out. They are not going to move so obviously. It's a very subtle movement, but what helps for that is that it will help you align the elbow joints and move your shoulders into the right position. Like for me, I really love that. And you should do that when you bend the elbow a bit. I'm going to do just for that part first, so you look more toward the front of the downward facing dog, okay? Hands down, fingers wide apart, 4 corners of the hands to the floor, and I tuck my toe with my knees on the ground. Right here, I bend my elbow to the sides a bit, and then there, I rotate my forearms in a bit, and then keep that, rotate the upper arms out, straighten arm, push the chest back. come down and continue give you details. We're gonna go from the arms like up, the head down, the body, and down into the legs. Okay. After you have that rotation, you probably see my body kind of move with the breath, and I think this is just such a essential thing to do in downward facing dog because you get more out from it when you work with the breath. When you inhale, work to draw your armpit back towards you, which means when you go down to the ground, your armpit will draw up and away from the floor. And what that does is that it will make your shoulder blades move back and you can draw them toward one another. What good about that, from what I learned, is that our rotator cuff muscle now are going to be protected. Yeah. So you do that when you inhale. Then when you exhale, the hand that's on the floor, you angle it down, you push that hand like you want to tear your mat apart. And what is going to happen is that it's going to send the energy up to your spine. It's going to make your chest move through, which is it's going to move down and also toward your feet. Okay, I'm going to stop right there so that you can see my body. Once again, just look more toward the front part of the body, please. And to the floor, fingers wide apart, wrist crease parallel to the front edge of the mat. I soften my elbow, I rotate my forearms in, keep that. Exhale, rotate the upper arms out. And I inhale, then I inhale and draw that armpits up and away from the floor. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then I keep that the best I can while I use my upper body strength, wrists and arms to push that chest back and through the shoulder blades. And I repeat that every breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And I actually check my rotation in the arms every time when they move. Keep that lift and keep pushing the chest down to the floor. Now, the other thing that I want you to be really cautious about, especially you can see my hands, I probably go into hyperextension from here and there, but I try my best not to do it. So the hyperextension will cause the problem in the joints in the future. It's better practice not to hyperextend it and to keep your arms straight. Like our hyperextension is go beyond straight, so we have to really learn to soften the elbow joints to keep the arms straight and protect your joints. Probably it can go from your wrist to your elbow and go up to the even your shoulders. Then what happened after that? So when you move down the body, sure enough, we draw the belly in all the times. And when you exhale, when you receive that push, we also want to send the heels of our feet down to the ground to straighten the leg the best we can and use that opportunity to stretch hamstrings muscles and also calf muscles. Some of you might feel more one or the other or both. Okay. Now, the alignment of my feet are hip distance apart, and I like that personally. It doesn't mean you can not adjust them. I feel like when you tighter, the wider will give you more opportunity to get the benefit from the pose better than you make everything so narrow for your tight muscles. Alright? together. I'm going to try to say all the details that I can feel in my body. Oh, the other thing is that our knees are also important. You want the knees to line up with the angle the best you can, so you don't want your knee to move in. I'm just gonna speak about the legs. So now you look toward the back of my pose, please. So right here, you don't want your knee to knock in toward one another or out apart like that. You want to lie up pretty much the front part of your leg toward, like facing forward. The back part of the leg is facing backward. The heels of the feet should be behind the toes of the feet. When you're tight, especially when your legs muscles are tight, it's a good idea to bend the knee first. And you feel the shin part of the legs hugging in, and you push your thighs part of the legs apart, and send your hips high to the sky. Now I'm going to work the upper part of the body, and with an exhale, push core in, and then let the heels down to the ground. Inhale, soften the elbow, lift the underside of the arms up, shoulders together, core engage. Exhale, push, and really feel the lengthening move up the back, down the leg. Shoulder blades onto the back. Now, I'm going to move my hand to the sides. This is the other way that you can do if your mat happen to be slip and you don't feel like go grab the towel yet and you want to continue doing the push. And you can hold the outside edge of the mat for now. What I want to show you, you actually can really get your chest to move down so much that you might be able to touch your forehead on the floor. But the thing that you want to be mindful is that you don't want to let go of your shoulder blades that draw toward one another at all, which is look like this right here. However, when you push your chest through, your shoulder blades may come apart a bit, but that will be okay when you still do the action of draw your shoulder blades toward one another. Okay? Be mindful with that action, especially for us who are flexible. I feel like when you overstretch by letting it go of the shoulder blades, at one point you might get hurt, which can be maybe 5 years down the road. Just keep that in mind, okay? Now I'm going to make the mat a little bit more narrower. Yeah, because the mat is too far apart from my shoulder, just to show you how that action can be, if you can be so strong with that stretch with the upper chest. And I lift and push, and I keep my shoulder blades together. I also be really mindful, even more so with my elbow. I don't let go. This is when I don't use the shoulder blades at all. Like when I don't draw the shoulder blades toward one another at all, it's just going to look like this. That, to me, it doesn't feel safe. I can keep sending my sternum to the floor, but my shoulder blades should not go with it. They should go up and together. It's almost like they are behind. They're supporting my chest to move through and go deeper and get more opening on the front part of the body. At the same time, the more you get out from this part, nice and open, the more you should really draw your ribs in and bellies go to the opposite direction. It's very weird. Okay. Lift, exhale, push. Keep the shoulder blades together. Each exhale is like comes in. Yeah. Now every time you move and you get yourself deeper, please, I'm going to come down now. the stronger you move, the more you should be mindful with every alignment in the body and pause and check them. Because normally when we ask so much from our body, something can just go off from the alignment. Yeah. I don't want to sound too detailable to the point that you feel like, what is the fun of the yoga then when I'm so worried about the details of this? Imagine people that do ballets, like I used to do ballroom dance for like a solid 7 years. The first 2 years, they were the toughest because all the basic steps and the detailed steps, my teacher never let me let go of them. Even though I can spin, even though I can step forward, I can move to the side, I can move the hips, but there are some details in there that the teachers believe that when you do them, you will get into the pose better, that you can do the spin faster, you can move your hip better, things like that. And actually that is the truth. Then later on in the dance, I don't need to worry about that any longer, and the teacher doesn't have to correct me any longer. So the joy of paying attention on the details alignment, sure enough, will probably come later on in the practice, especially for us who are new. So please just be patient with the details. Breathe through it. If you're consistent and persistent with your practice, at one point those details, they're not going to be too overwhelming to you. Alright. I am going to end the video now. Hopefully you get some useful tips for your own personal practice, and I will see you in the next video. Please, if you find the tips helpful, give it a thumb up and subscribe if you want more tips from me, and share this video with everybody else that will learn some good yoga practice for their